and welcome to the first Special Moves podcast of 2021. This is episode 113, I think. My name is Mike Williams. These guys are Jake Klukowski and Liam McKelvey. Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello. Happy New Year, everybody.
Best of luck.
Good.
Yeah.
Good luck. I got good feeling about 2021.
Well, that's nice.
I want to put myself out there straight away and say that, so everyone can tell me how wrong I am as things happen. You can be
quote tweeted in 12 months' time and with a hand emoji saying, "Look how wrong he is."
Yeah, well, I hope to prove everybody all doubt is wrong, and we all have a good year, everybody. But 2021, we've done it. We've made it through 2020, the year of many not good things, including, the more you think about it, like the games were they were pretty good, but I think a lot of people will see that as a filler year, to be fair. Like, there's a couple of standouts, but a lot of them were PlayStation exclusive. So unless you're a complete PlayStation shill or in PlayStation pajamas for your podcast or anything like that, you won't probably unlock the true Game of the Year contenders, really.
Jake, can you just show us your nice pajamas at the moment? Just side note,
There you go.
They're nice, Look for the video watchers there. Yeah. Jake's wearing PlayStation pajamas. I that's interesting that you say that, right? Because I was didn't have a Game of the Year essentially, did I? And
a vacant title, yeah.
Yeah, if you watched our kind of Game of the Year podcast, then we also did a anticipated games podcast as well. If you want to check those out, the last couple that we've put out on the channel. But yeah, I didn't have a Game of the Year, and Jake's little self-deprecating humor about wearing PlayStation pajamas there and being a PlayStation shield. But I'm a big fan of PlayStation, but I did, there was like Ghost of Tsushima, I just completely didn't. I just came off it straight away. And Final Fantasy VII didn't even, I just didn't give it the time of day. Didn't look at. Played the demo, thought it was all right. Yeah, but I didn't have it. I just didn't have. And The Last of Us Part 2, which is the other big, PlayStation thing from last year. I just really didn't think that, it really wanted to be taken seriously as a piece of art.
HBO level writing.
Yeah, and I didn't think that it, met what it was trying to, what it is praised as doing. But anyway, so over the Christmas, I was like, fuck, I should really, have a look at that again and see what I didn't get out of these games that I didn't even try. So I've bought Final Fantasy VII on the Switch to play. I bought it ages ago, actually. But I fucking started playing Final Fantasy VII OG, and I'm going to play it all the way through, something I never did before. So I'm going to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's my plan, eventually. Because I was looking at these Game of the Year lists, and it was that, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, Hades. And I also bought Kentucky Route Zero, which I touched, didn't know anything about.
A lot of people actually put that as Game of the Decade.
Yeah, so I thought I better fucking play that as well then. So I've picked that up. So I'm going to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm going to play Kentucky Route Zero. And I've gotten back into Ghost of Tsushima. I thought,
that's a lot.
I'll give it another spin. Yeah, well, I've been off for 2 weeks, which is almost 2 weeks, and I've had homework. I've had a lot of fucking homework to do, believe me. But I've thought, I need to get some games played. I was just in the mood. That's essentially it. I'm very moody when it comes to how I want to spend my time on that, and so I just wanted to play them. So I've been playing them. And Ghost of Tsushima, this second time around. Now, I think what happened with Ghost of Tsushima was I was like upset that they had a Kurosawa mode, and that everyone was saying, it's Kurosawa mode. And it's like, it's a fucking genius of cinema, and you can't just have a fucking black and white
mode of film grain.
And I think I was pissed off about that. And I think that everyone was saying that it was the best kind of visuals in any game ever, and all this. And it's not. It's very good art direction, is what it is. It's a great looking game in that sense. It's not technically like Last of Us Part 2 looks better technically, better textures, I think, better lighting and all that kind of stuff. But Ghost of Tsushima is a very nice looking game because there's basically no UI. There's a lot of stuff about it that I should like, and people have been saying that to me in emails and comments and stuff since it came out. So I thought, okay, I will give it another go, and I'm enjoying it. Played about 4 or 5 hours.
Cool.
And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I got it early before review embargo, so I think a lot of the time stuff like that helps set a precedent in your brain, right? So this game just looked like a generic open world, right? So I was playing it before. I didn't know what anyone was saying about it, so I was really into it, and I was telling you guys, like, guys, this is fucking well good. Liam played it and finished it, and was like, sure.
I platinumed
it's
it.
like 7 out of 10. Yeah, right. It's like basically Liam's reaction to it is basically the same as Days Gone, if not a little bit less nice to it, because Days Gone did get a bad rap. But I loved it while I was playing. But at the same time, and I don't know if this is a me problem or the game problem. Why didn't I finish it then? Yeah. You know, I don't know if it's because I was like in some sort of stalemate between playing the game that was bringing me a lot of joy versus playing The Last of Us 2, which was the game that was the game. You know, it's the game that the fucking connoisseurs were all playing. It's the game that the people who were making podcasts and making videos were talking about. And it's the game that's the sequel to one of the most like landmark games of the last 2 generations or so. So I was in this weird thing where I was like almost feeling guilty for wanting to play Ghost of Tsushima, and then I dropped the momentum on it and I didn't end up finishing it. But when I think about the game, I have really good memories of it. I just got to the second area, so I done not like. Well, I don't want to say because Mike hasn't seen it, but yeah, like what I did like was the game did constantly seems to still be letting me unlock things. I feel like the only thing that I felt was a bit weird was that, and maybe I'm wrong, so for anyone who's finished the game, feel free to laugh at me, but it's like I feel like I'm really fucking overpowered because I've done all the side quests. I've literally tried to do the map from the bottom to the top, and the game's kind of set like that, like you're going northwards, right? Yeah. So I start right at the bottom, and I'm picking up all these side quests, and now I'm wearing this golden samurai set. I'm literally like, everyone knows that I'm a weasel, yeah? So I'm normally the stealthiest guy when it comes to all these games, stealth archer mentality, you know, rogue all the time. But I was literally walking in there Terminator in these guys, you know, and...
Yeah. Which in my opinion, is actually a better way of playing it, because that was one thing I didn't like as well about it originally, was kind of another open world game with stealth elements where I've got a Far Cry the Outposts and Assassin's Creed this and fucking whatever. Yeah. And so the one thing I did like was that it was trying to say, walk up to the camp, say, hey, and then they'll come out and then you just kill them. Mm-hmm. And I like that. So I'm actually trying to ignore the stealth stuff and not do it as much. I don't want to get on my knees as a samurai, right? I want to be like,
well, that's another thing as well. It's funny, isn't it? Because the game's kind of doing that the whole time. It's kind of making it about this guy's plight because he has to be stealthy and break the code. But I'm not finding that in what I'm playing, because I'm still like the hardest guy in the room. I'm Mr. Sekiro Platinum. I can walk up to your fucking shit bandit camp and fuck you. Especially when I've got the ability to the arrows, you know? Oh, so you can literally just stand there, the arrows, wait for them to come up. What I love about the game, the combat is so good, that you can literally parry, death slice everyone. It's so sick. Mm-hmm. When you unlock all your different stances, you go, okay, he's got a shield, go to the moon stance or whatever the hell it is. Parry, death slice. It's so, because you can just literally let them all come to you. It's so good.
And that stuff is cool. The standoff is you can instantly kill. I've already unlocked the thing to instantly kill 2 people.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
up to 3, right? So it's which is surely going to make, that's how I want to do business. I want to just instantly fucking slice these guys and show them who's boss. I don't want to be sneaking around and Assassin's Creed in them.
Yeah.
So that's something I've been up to. I'm really looking forward. It's been difficult to try and not jump straight into Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I have really fancied it, to be honest. But I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, the original one, and already like I just understand in my head clearly what Biggs and Wedge is. And do you know what I mean? Though, just I understand why that is significant now, rather than just be just the Final Fantasy characters. I get it a bit more, already. So I'm about 5 5. I can't remember how much I played really, but I played quite a bit of.
So you're still in Midgar.
Yeah, I'm almost out. I would.
So when you're out, I think that's fair enough time to start if you want.
Yeah, I've been saying that to myself as well. Well, I've basically done it then, haven't I? So yeah. So I might do that. I might jump onto remake. But what have you guys been playing?
Well, probably not as much as Liam. So Liam, do you want to start, and then I'll jump in.
So I have been locked in the house for a while because unfortunately one of my family members is diagnosed with COVID, so I had to do the whole self-isolation period thing, and then I got furloughed from work, so I've got a lot of free time on my hands at the minute. And so I just filled the void with games and Netflix, pretty much.
Nice.
But for Christmas, my sister actually got me Immortals Fenyx Rising for the PS5. Yeah, I finished it, and I had a great time with this game, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, in terms of like, just pure joy, it struck a chord with me, where like, it's, the thing that got me the most was, it's an Ubisoft open world, but with all the shit stripped out of it. There's no climbing well, there is a little bit of climbing towers, but that's if you want to like, you can scout out like treasure chests and collectibles, and that's if you just like want to have them marked on the map, but you don't have to do that if you don't want. You can just naturally discover them in the world if you want to do that. It's like, I know it keeps getting compared to Breath of the Wild quite a lot. I think it's a little bit unfair to Immortals, because it does do its own thing. Like, the combat in Immortals is far better than Breath of the Wild's combat, and it's just in the sheer variety. Like, your main weapon is a sword, and then you've got an axe, which is your heavy attack. You've got your bow, but then you've got like a whole bunch of activatable god powers, which can like launch spears out the ground, and you can do air juggles, which is a bit Devil May Cry-ish. So like, the combat variety is better than Breath of the Wild. The exploration is good. Like, it's fun just to wander around the world. The world is nice. It's got quite a bit of variety to it. There's like, I think there's 5 different areas of the map, and all of them have like a distinct look to them. One of them's like this, like lush grove of trees and fruit and like fountains everywhere. There's one that's like, you know, all war torn and stuff because Ares has been there, so it's all like all the trees and ground is like burnt to ash and everything. There's just like forts and castles everywhere. But yeah, it's like, it's a lot of fun. Like, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. It is very light-hearted, even though it's dealing with like Greek gods who are like, you know, mating with horses and feeding each other's livers to eagles, but the game makes fun of itself for that. It's like, it's like a lot of fun. Like, it plays amazingly on PS5 as well. I was playing it in the performance mode, and it was like constant 60 FPS throughout, which just made the combat better. The Breath of the Wild stuff is like probably in how the overall game is structured, where, you know, in Breath of the Wild, you've got the divine beasts, which you have to go and activate, and then you go fight Ganon. In this one, you have to free the gods who give you their powers, and then you go fight the big bad in, like, a cave that's in, well, I think it's a volcano, which is in the middle of the map, like the Calamity Castle is in Breath of the Wild. But yeah, it's just, like, it's a lot of fun. It's pretty polished as well, to be fair. Like, I can't remember any bugs, apart from one time I had to quit out the game because it wouldn't let me like progress a quest, but all I did is quit out the game, reload my save, and it worked fine. So that was the only bug I had with it. And yeah, it's like, and it's on deep discount already. You can get it for like, it's already on sale for like 30 quid. And I would well recommend it for 30 quid, especially if you're looking for like a new game to play on your next gen console. Like, go from, and it's like, there's no RPG mechanics and stuff in it. You can upgrade your weapons, which is just like, oh, now you do 200 damage instead of 150 damage, and you can upgrade like your carrying capacity for potions and stuff like that. And then it's a nice balance of like puzzles and combat, because it's got like the Tartarus vaults, which they're like the Breath of the Wild, you know, the shrines in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, it's like that. And that it's like some of them are like combat based, some of them are like physics puzzles you have to solve, and it's just like it's
so very, very similar by the sounds of it.
It is very similar, but it does manage to be its own distinct thing at the same time. But a lot of people are just dismissing it as like, it's just Ubisoft trying to cash in on Zelda, which it is a fair criticism, but it's also, I don't think it detracts from Immortals at the same time. But yeah, so I think it took me like 25 hours to get through it, and that was for the campaign and most of the side quests. There was a few I just couldn't find them, and by the time I was done with the game anyway, I was like, it feels like a natural stopping point. I didn't want to just like carry on grinding out side quests. But yeah, I'd recommend it a lot for the £30 or whatever it is at the minute. Great, it was a great game, which I wasn't expecting from an Ubisoft title.
Well, yeah, I mean, they kind of just pelt out the annual releases, or maybe once every couple of years of certain. They've got these staple series. They've got Far Cry and Assassin's Creed and fucking God knows how many other things. But then they do like For Honor. They were trying to do something different, like taking some aspects of other games, and they do it. They do like have these kind of one-offs that come out in. Perhaps I think. Not to bang on about it because we talked about it before, but perhaps if it was called Gods and Monsters as originally intended, that the name is very, very important.
Yeah.
And for it to be called Immortals Fenyx Rising, which is, instantly less.
It's
I don't know,
infinitely more generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It already implies that they're going to Ubisoft it and have an Immortals, Prometheus Fallen or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a fucking good chance it could be Prometheus Fallen, but it's yeah. So
Gerard Butler film.
Yeah. They're making a new one then.
Fortunate.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but they are making a new one.
Maybe I thought it is. Maybe it is Prometheus Fallen. I'm glad that you liked it, Liam, because I was playing it at a very privileged time of my life, right, where I had the whole PS5 lineup. And this one just stuck out like a sore thumb. Because to be truly honest, like I think that was one of the only games that I had on the PS5 that was a PS4 game. Wait, or is there a PS5 version? I remember playing the performance mode, but I remember it not looking as
like
all right.
I think it's in this weird upgrade thing where you can buy the PS4 version and then it'll let you upgrade to the PS5 version, but then there's just a normal PS5 version, which is just a disc in a box, which is the one I've got. It's just it'll work only on PS5.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I was playing it alongside like literally like COD and Demon Souls, right? Which is just good luck to anything. And do you know what else here doesn't get enough credit so far? From what I've seen, Sackboy Adventure is actually pretty good, for a platform. They're like, it's not super engaging. It's literally just a paint by numbers platformer.
Yeah.
And then the things that make it stand out are things that most people probably over the age of 12 wouldn't care about, like the customization of like your little sack boys, and you can do all these cool things, like things that like my eldest daughter's well into, but and I'm playing it, I don't care. But that was pretty decent as well. So then, Immortals, I just felt like maybe it was the wrong time, and I was like, but like I wasn't very nice about it in the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and then there was a lot of people saying actually like this game is really good. One thing I did like about it was the short time I had with it, you were constantly, like what I just said about Ghost of Tsushima, but you're constantly it was drip feeding you, like the way that it does all of the, now you can fly, now you can do this, now you can do that, was really cool. Like you felt like every half an hour of play, you were making some sizable progress, like, and the story of it was pretty cool so far. But yeah, I didn't like that it had like, it was explaining the way that the world was super empty because everyone got turned to stone. So the world just felt like really,
it is quite barren,
Yeah, but it can't all be The Witcher 3, can it? It's
not an open world filled with NPCs. There's literally like 5 NPCs tops in the entire game.
But Cyberpunk is, and look how well that went. So, it's not the be all and end all. So, that's cool. I played, like my daughter's like, halfway through the Terrible 2s, yeah? So it's an _terrible. She's so attention seeky at the moment. So because me and my wife don't have much time off, I've been spending loads of time in real life, and I haven't played many games. So the opportunity I've had has been pretty sparse, and like I wanted to watch telly, and there's like the boxing's been back on. So I played Pokémon Shield because, the more Liam was on a hot streak. Every recommendation he's been making has been like really good for me. And I thought, you know what, when Liam was on about Pokemon being best ongoing game, and when I remember all the criticism that Pokemon Sword and Shield got, it was that people felt like it was not quite feature complete, or they were very upset to know that it was like, they were holding back the original intended roster of however many Pokemon. But then I think back to like, and my time on Pokemon was really good, and then like I just don't really get it anymore. And I think like the reason I didn't get it anymore is because of two things. One, the last couple I've played has either been Pokemon Let's Go, which is just constantly retreading this, like, in a lot of people's eyes, the glory days of Pokemon, aka the start of Pokemon. That it's like just the original 150, which like get put on a pedestal. That's what I know and love. I know it off the top of my head, like all of the Pokemon. I'm so familiar with it. I feel like I don't need to go back. Like I played Let's Go Eevee, and it is just Pokemon, but I can't fight wild Pokemon, and the graphics are better, but I don't really care that much because I like the retro graphics. So they didn't do anything for me. And Pokemon Go didn't do anything for me either because I live in such a shit rural area that I don't get to take part in these amazing raids or these gyms or whatever, But I do have fond memories of Pokemon, so I thought I'd try this one, and you know what? Like, yeah, I immediately, like, my brother immediately got on my back about it and tried to, like, bog me down. I hate this sort of thing, that he's like, oh, if you want to get started, I'll send you some max IV level Pokemon. I'm like, what are you on about? But it's this thing, like, and it's the same with Kale, who I know, they're just massively into, like, max stats. I really, guys, don't adultify the Pokemon experience for me. I don't want to talk about max special attack level boosting or making sure that they're holding the right size berries. I just want to collect some Pokemon. I want to look at the design and go, ooh, I wonder what that would look like evolved, and then catch it. And I want that. That's what I want. So I don't want to play online. I don't want max IV level Pokemon. In fact, don't talk to me about it. So I wanted to just have like a game for that. So I got it. And then there's this wild area that everyone's talking about. It's like Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time size, basically. Mm-hmm. It's not like world changing. It's like this big area where it's got that like Pokemon Let's Go element where you can see the Pokemon and then whatever. But pretty much all of the Pokemon I found have been pretty new. I think they do seem pretty like civilian, like vanilla-y. Like the Pokemon that you find like in the first area is like, I'm not seeing anything fucking crazy. I'm seeing a Pokemon that looks like a sheep. And by the way, another thing is that this game is set in like a very British region. So it's very UK native, like the Pokemon are. So,
there is a teapot Pokemon.
There we go. I haven't even seen that yet. I'm seeing literally a Pokemon that looks like a bird. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. A Pokemon that looks like a sheep. A Pokemon that looks like a rabbit. To the point where it might as well just be a sheep and a rabbit. Like, I'm not getting like a magical pony with flames as its mane. I'm getting it's a sheep.
That's why I don't. And they've already got a sheep Pokemon with Mareep and Flaffy, and they're at least they're electric.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. I find
they've already got a sheep Pokemon.
I don't get started on the bird too. The thing is, this is what I mean, So like they're just super like bland to start. Like another Pokemon I got is a fox,
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's just a fox.
Yeah.
And then I evolved it, and it's another fox. I want spice. I want pizzazz. So
you want a turtle with fucking cannons and guns
coming out of his back.
The Galar region Pokemon aren't particularly exciting.
Right. So I'm in the wild area. I don't know anything about like anything. I don't even know what the types are these days. Like I've tried to get a fire type. I've got like a fucking Arcanine. I've got like whatever the evolved Sobble is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got a Gloom, soon to be a Vileplume, and then I got like just 3 other pieces of shit. I got this fox. I got this fucking, I don't know, it's called like, I don't know what it's called. I got it in a big Gigantamax thing. This is another thing I don't get. Like, so I'm in this wild area, and there's these holes in the ground with this like light coming out of it. You click on it, and then you just fight this massive, unnecessarily big Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like Megazord Power Rangers shit, I just don't get what it's about. But when you beat them, you can catch them. So I'm just trying to do that. So I'm just, at the moment, I'm going to try and catch all of them, catch them all. That's all I'm there for. I'm not there for IVs and this and that. So I'm doing that, but then I'm getting bogged down by some of these other elements of it. Like in the wild area, you go into your camp, and in your camp is a bit Chow Garden, a bit Tamagotchi, and then I have to make a curry. Right? I get that that's like a British thing, but I don't think there's much thing as a pasta and sausage curry.
Fucking hilarious, and that's a British thing.
What curry? Yeah.
Curry. Well, it sounds like you're having a lovely time with it, Jake.
Yeah, it is good, but it's just a bit of I'm a bit like, what's this now? But I am embracing the change when I'm playing it, and but the only thing is,
do you know where you're at, right, with this game? Yeah, that's where I'm at with all games. Like all the time. What's this now? That's what I think almost all the time. Oh, what's this now?
And the only other thing is, I'm just a bit concerned I'm like over leveled because you can look at the map, and I'm in this very first area. Like I haven't even done a gym yet, I don't think, and I've got like level 30 odd Pokemon. So I'm like, I don't know.
You're really good at the game.
Yeah, maybe I'm a natural fucking max IV. Do you know what I mean? But so I got Pokemon Shield on, so that's one of the games I've been playing. Yeah,
great. I've been doing some shooting as well. We played a bit of Battlefield 5, which is fucking very nice on next gen. So we've been playing it on PlayStation 5, but I've watched a bit of some stuff on YouTube and seen some Battlefield people playing it on Xbox, and it's very nice on Xbox as well. And it's just it's kind of a slightly above HD. What was it? It's 1440. Yeah, I think so. And 60. It basically feels like a solid 60 FPS on PS5, and it's fucking great. I mean, I would still like to see what they could, if they actually spent time on it for next gen, and see what they could squeeze out of it.
Wow.
But it's good fun. It's one where I don't think we actually hammered it really when it came out. We didn't spend a huge amount of time playing Battlefield 5.
It was a bit, but it was mostly like, the thing is, it's like you don't play like we played it for like nearly 2 hours, and we only played 3 games because they go on, don't they? So we probably put a good 20 hours in playing together, but that probably amounts to like 25 games. Like,
yeah, it's great. And having played very recently, COD quite a bit, having played Black Ops, I finished the Black Ops Cold War campaign and stuff. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, the campaign I actually thought was good. It's ridiculously kind of it's about 15 stories that you've seen before, but it's a fucking Call of Duty campaign, but it was fun, and it was surprisingly slow paced in a lot of places, which was very good. But having played a lot of COD and a lot of running around corners and dying instantly, and the dying every kind of 6 to 10 seconds, it feels like killing someone, dying someone, dying, killing 2 people, dying. Battlefield is very different. So and playing as a squad was a lot of fun.
I don't know if we were playing many. No, I don't think we played any of the new maps, right? Like, well, we did play the Pacific style maps when they came out. We were playing. I think 2 of them at least were like just like the vanilla base game maps. But playing as a squad is just so good because it's like the game. I haven't seen another game do it as good as Battlefield. Like maybe someone in the comments will have some ideas, but it's just that like reward for being a team player is so satisfying. Like I play as a medic, and it's like if one of these guys gets downed and I resurrect them, that's the equivalent of killing 2 people. So the smart thing to do is to stay with your team, even if you're being selfish. I'm not a selfish guy when I'm playing these games, but even if you don't know these people, if you're on a squad with them, healing them is how you get points, and you win prizes, and that's the classic. So when you're throwing bandages out, and now they've introduced, and if you haven't played Battlefield 5 since vanilla, they've added like a bunch of new weapons, including if you are a medic, like the classic staple medium to long range single shot rifles, which in Battlefield 5 it was SMGs, which seemed really good for close quarters, but a lot of the maps are massive. A lot of Battlefield maps are massive, even like the choke points. Like one of the games that we played, we were on a bridge. And we were on this bridge, and it felt like there was a constant bombardment of smoke from the smoke grenades from both sides. And we were trying to defend the bridge, and they were trying to take it. I've got no use for. Yeah, that's it. Mike putting down. He's playing support, so he's putting down these sandbags that I think only support people can put down to a certain extent. Liam's better buy some scaffolding just ahead. and I'm just fucking launching bandages at Liam at high velocity, cowering behind Mike, taking his ammo.
Jake's going, Liam, are you okay, mate? Liam, you all right?
Fucking cowball.
Faster, Liam.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah. Meanwhile, and the scoreboard, that's glory there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then, then that's it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jake's fucking top of the scoreboard.
Every time as well.
Yeah, that's it. And so playing the objective, healing your mates, looking after your buddies, and you're feeling satisfied on the inside, and then you're looking glorious on the scoreboard. And the game that does that is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and I think like more games need to figure out how to get strangers to play together. But nothing beats when you're playing with people that you know. We don't use headsets or nothing. We can just read the room.
Don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm definitely hoping to play a bit more. It seems nice on a living room kind of situation as well, because I feel like playing a first person shooter like that on a PC is a different experience. And if you want that more like hyper focused, engaged, I wish I joined the army kind of experience, you can get that on a PC. But when you're on a sofa, the stakes are like so much lower when your feet are up on a coffee table kind of thing, and you just kind of what's happening with your mates about it, and you don't have the headset on and everything. So it's a good experience for that, and I'm really looking forward to the next, like, whatever it is, the next DICE shooter. It
is Battlefield 6, isn't it? They should have a tech demo, and I'm praying it's this year, right? But COVID will slow down everything everywhere. So, but I would love that, because the graphics are so good, and it's still like you said at the beginning of this part, that what can they do when they're utilizing, like, because DICE they do bring all the bells and whistles. To be fair, like even little things like audio, people do take kind of for granted, but they get it really spot on when you got headphones on.
Oh yeah,
like when you're listening to the sound effects, especially like in Star Wars, when they're not even real sounds. Like with Battlefield, DICE are like, I recorded an M1 Garands. But with this, you can't record a fucking lightsaber, can you? So I love the audio work that they put in, but like that shows that they're in the details and particles and all this. So I'd love to see what if they're utilizing these new controller features with next gen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think controller features, and obviously added kind of horsepower of a next gen system, and then designing it for next gen.
It's better for PC players now, because I think every fucker is trying to get a 3090 or whatever, So it's it looks like it'll be a good time all around, and I reckon that'll be the one this year. I think if it comes out, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, and I've kind of uninstalled Black Ops. Partly to make room for Battlefield 5 on my distressingly small PlayStation 5 SSD.
That's why you need to get just plug a hard drive in. That's what I did, and all my PS4 games get installed to the hard drive.
Well, I could do that, but my download speeds are having been cursed with the worst internet known to humankind for a long time in this house. My download speeds now are such that I can essentially download anything I fucking want, and it's ready to play in like 10 minutes. So so it's not that much of a problem. But I did get rid of Black Ops because I finished the campaign. What did we play? A bit of zombies. We played a bit of multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wasn't. It was good.
Playing Battlefront 2, isn't there? Basically.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm kind of done with it for now, unless we had an email about Black Ops quite a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you remember, but someone said that they found that there was just not a lot of content in Black Ops. But it seems like there actually isn't that much.
Yeah.
And there's, Warzone and everything going on now, which is, a whole other thing that you need to download into
Black Ops. 88 gig that you need to download.
Yeah, and that's having. I mean, from what I understand, like, please guys correct me if I'm wrong, right? But from what I understand, so Warzone, obviously came with Modern Warfare a little while after Modern Warfare came out. So then the developers of that are kind of moving on to the next COD now. So the developers of Cold War are kind of taking over Warzone, like the custodians of Warzone for the next 12 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So is the team is changing, but then they've got all these weapons from the new Black Ops game coming into the Warzone like arena and causing like balance problems and stuff like that.
And also, there's like this is all within the client of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You know, you have to download. Technically, it's Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's very complicated.
that's the point I was going to make. Yeah, it seems like what was perhaps an exciting idea on paper originally, you know, in terms of how it's integrated and stuff. I think because of Call of Duty's annual release model, they've kind of got a little problem here now where they have to figure out, is Warzone just going to be its distinct own thing, which is probably better for everyone.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a mess at the moment. So it's not appealing is the bottom line.
Yeah.
Liam, you played anything else, mate?
I have. I played 2 other things. I'll be quicker about them. I played Dirt 5 because after Immortals, I was on the hot streak of I really want to play more stuff on the PS5. And I saw Dirt 5 was going for quite cheap on Amazon. And I like a good racing game every now and then. So I bought it. And I have had so much fun with this game, to be honest. Cool. I think of all the PS5 games I've played so far, in terms of just pure fun and enjoyment, Dirt might be at the top, you know, of just like...
Really?
Yeah, just in pure fun factor, because as soon as you boot the game up, it starts playing like loud punk music, there's neon colours everywhere, there's like, you know, the colour palette is almost exclusively like pink, purples, yellows and blues. So it's just got this like really bright visual style. It's got like Forza Horizon has like the whole festival vibe to it. Dirt 5 has kind of got that as well, where it's just like a bunch of people going mad in cars, having fun, like just off-roading everywhere, just going mad. And
Not social distancing.
Yeah, complete lack of social distancing.
Yeah.
Well, they're in cars, so they do distance quite a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it handles really well. It's very arcadey. It's not like simulation. Like the earlier Dirt games were more like simulation-y type rallying games, whereas and now they've split Dirt into like 2 series now. So there's Dirt Rally, which is like if you want like the proper rallying experience, there's that one. Or racing game fans will tell you WRC9 is where it's really at. It's apparently the racing game opinion at the minute. And then Dirt 5 is just like very arcadey, almost MotorStorm like type. I think it's actually made by the developers of MotorStorm, because they split off from Sony and then they made their own studio. Then that studio got closed down. Then they got bought by Codemasters. It's a local studio as well. They're only in Cheshire. You can go visit them. Something like that. Yeah. So it's like they're local to us, sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like it's fun. There's a nice variety to the races. There's different, like there's your standard, you know, point A to point B races. There's like circuit races. There's these events called Pathfinder events where it's just you and you're basically just climbing up a hill in this like 4x4 buggy, and you're flipping over and there's rocks everywhere and the physics are going mad and you're just bouncing off rocks. And you just got to get to the top of the hill in the fastest time. My favourite ones are these races called like Icebreakers, where it's just like a normal circuit race, but the track is just on like thin ice and you're just sliding everywhere, like just doing these mad drifts around corners. But because of like the vibration in the controller and the triggers on the PS5, it feels so fun to control. Just like doing these mad slides and then powering out of it. Yeah. It's really fun. There's like an online mode called Playground where people make their own like custom stunt maps, I guess is what you can call them. They've been quite fun from what I've played so far. Just like there's the career mode as well, which is just your standard go through different like tournaments and stuff while Troy Baker voices over and like tells you how you're a champ.
Oh yeah.
And I think Nolan North is in it somewhere as well, because he's in every game ever. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Apart from there is one event called Sprint, where it's literally just an oval track, and you get put in these cars that are designed to just go left, and it's the worst controlling vehicle I've played in a game. I was going to say since Cyberpunk, because they were pretty shit as well. But these cars, like,
no fucking mercy.
It's just like they're constantly turning left, and it's all about like controlling the throttle to like steer them. But the AI is so good in these races that no matter what you do, I cannot come higher than 8th in these races. And like the AI is so brutally aggressive in this one event that it's like they slam you into walls all the time. And if you hit a wall, you just momentum dies. Like you completely stop. They can perfectly corner everything. It's like impossible for me to get higher than 8th, and it's just like completely killed my momentum at one point. I was just like, I'm not even going to waste my time trying to beat this. I'm just going to like get the minimum requirement and just move on. But that's the only complaint I have about the game. The rest of it is just like, it's a really fun time, and like it looks good as well. It's got like loads of different. You can like choose to have the highest resolution, or you can choose like 120 frames frame rate, or you can choose like a middle ground between the two where you've got 60 FPS, but or like the shadows and the everything is like cranked up to the maximum. So it looks good on the PS5. Some bugs, like there's a few times where I finished a race and your car is meant to like spawn on like the podium if you get 1, 2, or 3 finish. And just the car didn't spawn. Because the car didn't spawn on the podium, it wouldn't let me go past the menu. So I had to like quit out the game. Luckily, you don't have to redo the race. It just because it saves it immediately after you finish.
Oh, cool.
So it's just like, but it's occasionally annoying when you just have to like close the game, start it back up again, or because the car wouldn't spawn at the finish line when it's meant to. Yeah. But that's the only bug I've come across so far. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it.
I did have a look at that, and I was because same as you, I guess, Liam. Like where I just want to play something new on a PS5, and it's still we're only a couple of months in, so there isn't aside from playing PS4 games, which I have been doing a lot as we've kind of talked about on PS5. That stuff that specifically has PS5 features, controller support, and stuff like that. So I was actually really close to getting dirt, and I didn't do it. But I might still. I think I might if I see it on on a good discount somewhere, and I might go for it because just for the same reason I wanted Tony Hawk's was just to chill out and just like I probably won't beat it. I won't do all the races and whatever, but I will have a spin a few times and then sell it on eBay. It seems like a good
spin
one.
You will. The drifting is so fun in dirt. There's entire events where it's just like you've got to score the most style points, and you're just like drifting through like objective markers, donut, like just stopping in the middle of the track to do a donut, and then like go and hit a bunch more targets, drift around the corner. It's like it is kind of like Tony Hawk, just like chaining together all your combos for the highest score. That's a lot of fun.
So you said the other games. What was the other one?
Yeah, so the only other game I've really been playing... Well, I played a bit of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered on the Switch. It's just Crystal Chronicles again, but in HD. That's literally all it is. So if you've played that, you know what to expect. And then the other game I played was Ghostrunner on PC, which is... It's like an indie game. Best way to describe it is first-person Katana Zero, I guess.
Yeah.
Where... There's a big focus on this like Mirror's Edge style parkour platforming where you're jumping up, chaining wall jumps, like crouch sliding to get momentum, jumping in the air, and then it's all one-hit kills. So you play as this cyborg ninja who gets mysteriously awoken by some like rebels in this futuristic cyberpunk world, and you're just told you've got to climb this tower to get to the top and kill the evil overlord at the top of the tower. But all the minions get sent after you. It's like you die in one hit, all the enemies die in one hit, apart from some bosses. And it's all like slow-mo dodge. You've got like a slow-mo dodge strafe move. So it's like an enemy will shoot at you, you press shift, you'll go into like a bullet time, you strafe out the way of their bullet, and then you just launch yourself at them and slash them with a katana. And like it's a decent game, but not as great as... Well, I don't think it's as great as a lot of people are saying it is, because to me it felt like the first 2 hours were really fun, but there's like another 6 hours of game after that, where it feels like they had like a really cool concept, but maybe not enough to flesh it out into a full game.
Right.
So it's like the first 2 hours are really fun. Like you're slashing enemies, you're jumping off walls, you're chaining your combos together, you're getting new abilities. Like you get a dash strike where it's in the blink of an eye, you can slice 5 people in a row. But then every so often you hit these sections called the Cyber Void, and everything's got cyber in front of it, by the way.
Right. Okay.
Cyber Void, Cyber Swords, Cyber Katanas, Cyber Keys, everything's cyber in this game. But yeah, like and they're like puzzle sections, the Cyber Void, where you do some puzzles and you get a new ability at the end of it. But they are such, like, for a game that is based around literally flinging yourself through the air and launching like katana strikes at enemies.
Yeah.
Like they're just like such momentum killers, and the puzzles are shit as well. It's usually like turn the pipes so they all line up, or one of them is like a maze where you've literally just got to wander around, collect 6 keys before the gate will open, and it's just like they kill the momentum dead. And the visual style of the Cyber Void as well, it's like this constantly contrasting red and blue, and it started to give me a headache after a while. So I had to actually pause the game and go get paracetamol if I wanted to carry on playing it, because the visual design of this one area of the game was so horrible.
Fuck the Cyber Void.
I stand by that. But yeah, it's a decent game. They try and spice it up the further you go into like new enemy types. There's loads of different enemy types in this game. Like the first one is like just enemies with pistols, and then there's enemies with machine guns, and enemies with shields and axes. They try to spice up the variety, but at the end of the day, that you take them out all in the same way, which is you'll do a wall run, you'll jump over their head, you'll do a slow-mo strafe past their dod, they're like shooting at you, or they're a melee attack, you'll hit them in the back, and that's how you take out every single enemy in the game, even the bosses. Like apart from one boss where you have to parry them. That is literally like pretty much how you take out every enemy, apart from like if you've got your ability charged up because it's on like a cooldown, but the ability is like so overpowered it insta kills everyone anyway. It's a cool concept, but maybe not enough for a full 8-hour game.
Yeah.
So it's like
good for 2 hours, yeah, which is takes you just beyond the Steam refund policy window. I fucking got my eye on you.
Well,
developers of.
Lucky for me, I got it on the Epic Store using their £10 off coupon, so I got it for £8 instead of £18. So I'm not like salty about how much I spent on it, but it's just it's like it, and it is a difficult game. It is tough, like. But it's one of those games like when you get into the flow of it, the difficulty just sort of like goes. You know, like Hotline Miami, when you get into the rhythm, you're just like you're bashing indoors, you're shooting people, you're throwing knives at them, and you're unstoppable. That's what it's like in Ghostrunner, except when you occasionally it just throws these like absolute stoppers of the Cyber Void at you, and every so often it'll
stoppers of the Cyber Void sounds like some fucking Ray Bradbury shit.
Yeah. 1958's best-selling sci-fi cult classic.
Oh, I'd read it. But then, there's some enemy encounters as well. There's a robot where it shoots out like a laser grid at you, and the first time you encounter it is in a corridor that is literally exactly the same height and width of the laser grid that's getting shot at you. So it's
like Resident Evil.
Yeah. You're going to die down here.
It's nearly impossible to dodge it. You have to like cheese it and like just wait until your ability cools down and just do like a fucking force push at them, which insta kills them. It's just there's some really like odd design decisions in it, but like it's a cool concept. Just maybe not enough for a full game. Yeah.
Okay. Well, video incoming on the 2-hour scandal. I think there's a conspiracy here, but okay. So that's what we've been playing. We asked you to send us emails about what your game of the year picks were and stuff like that over the last couple of weeks. Over Christmas and stuff, and some of you shared some interesting suggestions for the game of the year. If you want to send us your emails, the address is dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. That's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send us anything you want, what your game of the year was, what you're looking forward to this year. Have you been playing, what was that game called? Cyber Ghostrunner.
Ghostrunner.
Cyber Ghostrunner. Cyber Edition. If you've been playing that, send us into our Cybermail inbox, and we'll have a look. So this one's from Blake Walden.
I genuinely mean it is a more enjoyable game than Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
because at least it actually knows what it is.
I've requested a refund off Sony, which is actually a big kind of button that says, "Do you want a refund?" And you're like, "Yes, give me a refund." Simple, no questions asked. Still waiting though. Still waiting, which is interesting.
Yeah, you're probably one of 15 million in the queue or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So, you probably just wait. Like, also, I did finish Cyberpunk, and
yeah,
the entire
it was alright. Yeah,
it was fine, but yeah, the entire time I was just like, I want to play Deus Ex instead. The entire time I was playing it, I was like, I can play that. This game already exists and better, and it has done since 2011 or whenever Human Revolution came out.
Perhaps that's why I've been so big on Final Fantasy VII, because now I have like an unfulfilled cyberpunk city that I haven't been to, and then there's already been a big fucking very successful game set in a sci-fi cyberpunk city that's come out this year. Or it's a completely different genre, but it doesn't matter, does it? It's the same fucking. Well, it's the same. The
RPG bit in Cyberpunk is not exactly great by RPG standards, anyway.
Right. Well, there you go. So Cyber 55 minutes into the podcast.
Liam finished Cyberpunk and gave it the same review as if you asked him how the dentist appointment went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was fine.
It was fine, but I didn't really want to be there.
No lasting damage. All right, Blake Walden says this. Hello, fellow gamers, which isn't a greeting that I recognise. It sounds insane, doesn't it? That some tech demo could be Game of the Year in a year when we had such high-profile games as Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1, The Last of Us 2, or what is that Part 2? Is it The Last of Us Part 2?
Yep.
That's
the official title.
But yeah, I don't know why I fucking flagged that, but yeah. Last of Us Part 2. Cyberpunk 2076. What is it? 77, yeah? So he's having a bit of bants there. He's having a bit of Fallout bants there.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers, and of course Resident Evil 3 Remake. Astro's Playroom rose above it all. This game gave me the same sense of wonderment and joy that Mario 64 did when I was 3 years old. It's a tribute to all things PlayStation. I genuinely smiled when I played this game at least once every 5 minutes. Every time I found a bot in the game and went, hey, that's the hunter. Look, he's even got his little sword cleaver. Yeah. Or, hey, look, it's Pyramid Head or Aloy or Kratos. Or it was just such a refreshing, nostalgic and fun experience. I cannot believe it was free because I would have paid full fat for it, honestly. It was just delightful, and that's not even to mention the use of the haptic controller, which is a true revelation. If you were lucky enough to grab a PS5 this year and haven't played Astro's Playroom yet, please do. Have a lovely day, fellow gamers, and don't forget to rise up. Your man in the colonies. Blake Walden.
Yes! That's Disruptor.
Good email. Go on.
I'm a fanboy, right? I like PlayStation, and I think what it did at the very, very end of the game was cool. If you were there at the time, if you knew what that is and what that means, it's really cool. It's kind of surprising as well, because
it's all sort of tilted that way, isn't it? Because it's sort of drip feeding and nostalgia all the way, and there's a payoff for all that, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way that it's something that's silly because it feels kind of unique to you, that bit, because you're like, oh my god, I loved that as a kid, but everybody loved that as a kid, and that's what makes me laugh, I guess. Like seeing like the fucking Kratos Astrobots is like one thing, but when you start seeing like little ones like Ico, that was a really good one.
Yeah,
you see a little face. It makes everyone see their favorites, and everyone thinks like, oh my god, that's cool. And then then the end bit was like, oh, if you're old enough to remember, then maybe that's what it is. I don't think that would have meant anything to Ellie if she played it. She's 9. It wouldn't have meant anything to her.
Yeah.
And to hear the music and oh man, so I don't even want to say what it is because if anyone hasn't played it yet, and it is an advert for PlayStation.
Oh yeah, basically. Absolutely. I even liked going to the little museum section and just like when you just being able to do stuff like open the disc drive on a giant PS2 was like, I don't know why it filled me with such joy and happiness. And like jumping on the power button on the PS1 and you get the startup sound. It's great.
It is silly, isn't it? It's because it's like, so imagine if Apple made a VR experience going through all the iPods, right? You'd think it was ridiculous, but I think it might be because, like, back in PlayStation 1 era and things like that, and you're seeing gaming's rise to prominence in like mainstream entertainment discussion. It wasn't really cool, the thing, but now it is really the thing, and the money and stuff like that. Like, the numbers speak, and it's just so ingrained into everyday culture. Everybody, like, COD is literally a household name, right? So it's like, I guess seeing it from back when it was before it was like really cool microtransaction-y EA stuff to now. I don't know. It feels like I think, you know, people who like video games feel more of that sense of it. So it feels less shilly. And somehow, like I said, like, you know, people do get buzzing for the Apple, whatever they're called, when what's his name? Not Steve Jobs gets on the stage and he's like, and our new iPhone is going to have 8 lenses. And here's an Android feature from 5 years ago. Tim, that's it. Thanks. And you know, people don't care, and people hate it when an Android user says, "Well, Android says that for years," because people think that Apple is their best friend, and it says, and you look at it and you go, "Oh, shut up."
Well, but perhaps it's because it's not selling you anything specific, is it? And everything that it's celebrating you've already bought it, probably. So it's already, you know, you've already put your money in what it's kind of celebrating, and it's stuff from the past, and you know,
it's a celebration, like you say, yeah.
But you know, it absolutely 100% is a corporate idea that has you know brand fucking recognition and whatever written all over it. Like, but it doesn't. It isn't like it's specifically trying to make you buy another game or specifically trying to sell you a microtransaction. It's just saying, look, do you remember the PS2?
If Nintendo did it, it would be everywhere. It'd be fucking Polygon's Game of the Year, like. But the thing is, it's the PlayStation. I didn't expect them to do it. You'd imagine Nintendo to do that, though, wouldn't you?
You would. Yeah.
Like they're bringing it, but so for them to do this in such a kind of you know, baked into the PS5
earnest way as well. Where it's just, you know.
it was lovely. It was lovely. It was the game. I was trying to keep quiet to you guys that I had a PlayStation because I was waiting for you guys to get it and I wanted to all discuss it together. But I played that and it made me so happy. I have to tell you, didn't I? I was like, guys, wait till you feel this fucking controller. You know?
Yeah.
So,
I went back and did the platinum for it.
Did you? Yeah, same. Yeah. I got a planet as well.
Okay, right. Thanks, Blake Walden. That was a great email. I reckon we'll do one more before we wrap up. This is not a Game of the Year suggestion, but it is a nice email. This is from Daniel Sanson, who says, "Dear Special Moves, long-time Patreon supporter here. I've been binge watching the podcasts again from the beginning, and I've got to say it's been great therapy for an otherwise shit year. I can't tell you how many times I've now jumped between Divinity Original Sin 2, Bloodborne, God of War, the Yakuza series, and so on over the past few weeks, as you guys talk about
your last child
so passionately, and rightly so. They are amazing games. I've just bought a new gaming laptop to get stuck into the Total War series. I'm about to binge the Resi games as I type this. All I have to say is thank you for the generally positive and superb content. I've since been distancing myself from channels that hammer the viewer with negative news every day, day after day, because it's gotten too much. It's just great to hear, you guys focus more on generally wholesome gaming goodness, which we need more of on the internet, to be honest. Yeah. Have a great festive season and a happy new year. Cheers. Daniel. Nice one, Daniel. Thank you for that. So it is quite sad, though, isn't it? Where it's like, you know, we're so fucking predictable. Like, anyone who's watched anything that we've done over the last few years could probably give you exactly the same fucking list that's come up there. Maybe a bit of variation, but
that's funny, isn't it? Well, yeah, it's good to know. I always get surprised when people listen to the recommendations and stuff, but it is true. You know, and it's, I guess, it is kind of hard to find like positive gaming stuff. It is, to be honest. Like, there's, especially on YouTube. I think on stream it's a bit more natural because people are playing new games and are kind of excited about them, and it's long form. It's not edited, so they're not going into it thinking I need to have a point I need to have a rant. I need to have a. They're just playing a game, and normally it's more positive because they've got an audience there that they're speaking to, so they're maintaining that positivity. So like Twitch is a lot more positive, and I wonder if that could be perhaps why it's 4-1 bigger than YouTube gaming. So
they're coming at it from a totally different viewpoint of let's just chill out and let's have a nice time.
Yeah.
Where they're not looking for a point, like you said, Jake. It's a good way of putting it. Like even something which you're plucking it out of the air, right? Even something which is not negative, like generally, like game ranks before you buy. Even that is a wait before you buy is still like a.
I feel like there's some sort of like mentality in YouTubers' heads that if they're too flowery and nice about a game, and if the point that they wanted to make was this game is really fucking good, they then always it seems to be like an instinctive thing where YouTubers have to go, and the game doesn't come without its faults, and then they'll start listing the fonts, and they end up going a bit heavy-handed on that sort of side of it, where to the point where it's like it's always the opposite. Like it's something that like I guess like fucking. Loads of people have mentioned it online for years, and then Video Game Donkey said it in the video, so people think that he fucking thought of the idea. But the funny thing is, you can normally tell if a games journalist likes a game or not by seeing how positive they are in the first 3 paragraphs of the game. The nicer they are at the beginning normally means at the end they're going to go, psych! It's a 6. Like you look at these Cyberpunk reviews, and it's like, negative, -8, -9, or you read things that seem really positive, and then it's like, but, and then, yeah. So I just, I always think just talking about games is a lot more, just here's a game that's come out, here's what it's like, so people can just buy it if they think it sounds good, but, it's good that we don't have to, like, score anything, or have to think that much. Like every single game you guys spoke about, I played Dirt 5. I played it on the Xbox One S. I played fucking Immortals. I didn't finish them. I didn't feel like I needed to, and that's what's great. Like,
well,
I love that.
I think that's there's a problem with game. Not to get to a fucking big topic right at the end of the podcast, but the whole that magazine like games journalism thing and websites now are struggling with the. If you're a reviewer, like a someone who is employed as someone for a website or something who plays a game and then has to write about how good the game is, you only get like a week or 2 weeks to play the game before you have to write a good review about it and put it out, and then it's out on the internet forever. So you've got to make a decision under like a lot of pressure, and the amount of time. So as a YouTuber, then YouTube is geared as like heavily geared towards daily, recurring 10 minutes, whatever, a schedule that you can hit every day. Spam, basically. They just fill it with fucking shit with content, right? So then how the fuck are you meant to... There's a good reason there isn't a huge amount of people like actually reviewing games on YouTube, is because you have to put so much time into playing a game to a point where you could review it without getting fucking pelted in the comments for not finishing it or whatever. You can't do that every day. There's channels who just review games, but they're not that big. Like, there's Let's Players are much bigger because they just fucking play the game 1 hour chunks at a time every day, or once every 2 days or something. And you don't have to worry about giving your fucking honest impressions or whatever.
Exactly. So then that Let's Play aspect, if you've got a natural charisma and you don't have to edit a personality in with fucking stupid editing or cutting out all your stutters, you'd go to Twitch, because then you've got people watching you that communicate with you, that are donating to you, and they feel like they're part of the community, and it's two-way. So you're right. Let's Play has always been the big thing on YouTube, and now Let's Play has just naturally evolved over time to Twitch. YouTube has now become the home of the fucking video essay, and these video essayists are people that just literally overthink everything. Like, here's 55 minutes about why Dante from Devil May Cry has got the sleekest fucking hitboxes in modern gaming since Capcom released this one game in 1999, only in Japan. Like, oh, bro, come on. We know that you're smart, but you're a post-grad. We get it. Like, a lot of it to me is that, and I don't watch that. So I'm caught in this weird thing where I don't want to watch people ranting, but I also don't want to watch these big, smug guy on a fucking medicine ball for 55 minutes, innit? So I just sit on Twitch all day with my day job, and I feel a lot more positive about it. So podcasts and things like that seem a bit more conversational stuff seems a lot more, nice. So it's really cool that we can still help people find games that they wouldn't have bought, like Total War. And Resident Evil series seems interesting.
Well, we've kind of, because there's three of us, we're like pooling, so every podcast, there's going to be, at least one or two games that, what we're going to bring to the table, like between us, usually between you two. But, so we're always going to have something to talk about. But it's very rarely that we have, finished it, we've finished the game, and give like a thorough, like, this is our review of it. We just don't do that.
Normally a game will come out on Friday. Liam's finished it fresh off the press Saturday night.
Yeah.
Slept, woke up, and he's recorded this. So he hasn't even had time to really give you a full breakdown. He's just gone, I finished it, here's
and then our approach but we're a fucking tiny channel, so it's not it's not at all successful, but it just works for us, personally, and for the people who do watch it. But it's like it's more about we've played it and let's have a chat about it, rather than we've played it, here's what you should think, and here's a title that we're really hoping is going to get us a couple of 100,000 views over the next 48 hours. Or
we know how to do it. We have done it before. 40 million views in a month. We just don't want to do it,
and it made us sad. So now we're doing this. Now we're doing this, and other stuff. Anyway,
and proper jobs, isn't it? That's the thing. Yeah. So it's good that people enjoy this as they don't feel that these guys aren't taking it seriously like a business. So let's not listen. Let's not see what Jake Baldino's got to say. Listen, forget about him. Forget about the other Jakes. All right, I'll tell you that now.
Except no Imajakers. Yeah. I have got to go and do my proper job now. A bit of homework, so I'm gonna have a couple. That's all right. I love my work. I'm an artist. It's a craft, isn't it? I've got to work on a Sunday.
I'm going to go to Aldi. Not sponsored.
That would be better. I'd prefer that. Imagine being sponsored by Aldi, though. That'd be the most...
You couldn't, because their produce only has fucking 2 days of being in date. By the time we've recorded this and recommended a special offers, everything's gone off.
Yeah.
So
But we could like advertise the Wellingtons and stuff like that they got in
a brought to you by Carlo's 88p pepperoni pizza and some milled linseed.
They're not bad, to be fair. If you had the stuffed crust one, that's pretty good.
Exactly. Aldi, send us a message. It's heyspecialmoves@gmail.com. That's where we take our business inquiries. So thanks everyone for listening and for watching.
Thanks to Aldi.
Our friends at Aldi. Remember to support us on Patreon if you want access to the bonus podcast. We haven't got one. We haven't done one for a few weeks, but we'll.
No, we are aware that we haven't. Sorry, it's just because it's been Christmas and everything you've watched has been pre-recorded. So
that's
we're back on the grind now.
Yeah, so we'll probably have a bonus podcast over the next probably couple of weeks. Join us there. Remember, keep your emails coming into dearspecialmoves@gmail.com and comment on the podcast on YouTube, because that helps. Review us on iTunes as well, innit? That'd be good.
That's the real key. Yeah. Nice one, guys. Thanks, and have a happy new year so far. See you next time.
Bye.